the deportations and stuff like that with ICE. But he's taken a hard line. It's kind of what I voted for. I personally, I would go a little harder. I want to put a stop on immigration for a lot of reasons, but I like how he's handling immigration. I like how he's handling our geopolitics. I like the peace negotiations that he's wheeling and dealing. There are a lot of things that I like. What don't you like? Like what? Why aren't you on the train?
Well, I mean, first off, the first two, I'd probably say immigration, his foreign policy, I all think is pretty bad. I think the most egregious things is his constant lawlessness, his violations of law, his rhetoric.
Let's just stick to one.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about like foreign policy if you like. I
Sure.
think
How
since
old are you, by the way? Where are you from?
I'm 20, from South Carolina.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah,
So
so
go ahead.
I mean, it is the most recent news. It's the Ukraine situation. I feel like his whole stance on Ukraine has been pretty like abhorrent. It's constantly not going through with any of the retaliations he would give to Russia. He hasn't put when the tariffs were happening, he didn't put the tariffs on Russia. He seems to be trusting Putin, and just taking Putin's sides more than Ukraine, which I think is pretty abhorrent.
Well, if you tariff Russia as the one who's going to mediate the peace, or you're trying to mediate the peace, wouldn't that be kind of a deterrent? If you're trying to get two people at the table, I think you'd want to, cozy up to them at least a little bit. Okay, you don't have to lick their balls.
Why'd we tariff
Like,
Ukraine?
look, it's like the same thing. Like Putin really is the one who's going to be in control of ending the war, right? Okay, he's the stronger army. He's the big dog. Uh, we really don't have a dog in the fight at all. Okay, it doesn't affect us as much as people think. We'd like some of their minerals and stuff in Ukraine. Okay, but we really don't have that much of a dog in the fight. I think if Trump wants to try and get Putin to the table, you don't want to antagonize him, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can make that statement, but I would say, you can say this for almost anything Trump does, but it's the constant capitulation to Putin that we see in conjecture with a bunch of other scenarios. I mean, we can go back to even like his first term in Helsinki, where he trusted Putin. Back to even like 20 his he does have some pretty deep ties to Russia, connections like that. He's walking Putin down a red carpet. He's believing Putin. Like it's just so many things
You
that.
know how many leaders have walked Putin down the red carpet? Every leader meets with him.
Well, wait, no, okay. This
Every
is
United hold on one sec. Every United States president is going to meet with a leader from another country. Thank you so much, Blue. Um, they all meet with him and they all take pictures. It's just how are you going to paint the narrative now when you put the picture out there on the screen?
well,
Every single United States president, okay, basically, at least in modern times, is seen shaking hands with the president of Russia, or even the hands with the president of Russia, or even the hands. Have you been watching the news lately, and you see what's going on with Tulsi Gabbard bringing the charges against
Obama.
Obama and Hillary Clinton, and exposing all the stuff that actually was going on in America's intelligence agencies. And people like me knew that, and we suspected that. This is all rehashed stuff. I honestly, I don't know why people don't know this already. The stuff that she's spouting is not new to somebody like me. But maybe it's just, it hasn't been in the news. It hasn't caught your ear yet. But have you been listening?
Yeah, no, I'm aware of the Tulsi Gabbard in the files that Kash Patel he released them on Twitter. It's very everyone can go ahead and view it, but I will go back to because we were talking about Putin. I will specifically say that no one has met with Putin, or at least any world leaders haven't really met with Putin past the fact that he was deemed an international criminal. The fact that he is committing a G-side right now in Ukraine. I mean, just the whole walking him down the red carpet, showing that's I was kind of saying that in
G side. You guys always use the word G side wrong.
well
Okay, you can't conflate G side with mass schmurder.
I agree.
Okay, it's I don't want to say the word KILL.
Hmm.
Okay, ing. Okay, that's what war is. Okay, did we
I
commit
agree.
a genocide in World War II? You
No.
know, a genocide is targeted against a specific
Yes. Agreed.
people. Okay, so
So specifically, that he's literally targeting civilian infrastructures. He's going after civilians. He's been kidnapping Ukrainian kids. These are things that are been proven. The International Court of Justice have determined that he is targeting civilians. Right? He's going after
okay,
hospitals. I don't
but
think.
what does it have to do with Trump? Trump is trying to stop it, is he not?
Okay, I agree, but I was just saying that Putin is committing a genocide, right? Like,
It,
the
look, he's unaliving a lot of people, but
yeah, I
that's
don't.
war. That's war. He's
Yeah,
not
I agree.
unaliving them because, let's say,
They're
they're
Ukrainian.
black or they're Jewish or like whatever. They just happen to be Ukrainian because this is the opposition.
When
He's
is targeting
unaliving the
civilian
opposition.
infrastructure that's not a military target ever okay?
Anyway, is Trump though not trying to stop it?
I think he's taking the weakest position he possibly can by giving endless. He's trying to make Ukraine endlessly concede, and he's not making any hardline positions against Russia. It's been pretty terrible the way he's framed it. He keeps saying 2 more weeks. If Putin doesn't make a deal, 2 more weeks, I'm gonna really fight back on him. He keeps saying 2 more weeks, 2 more weeks. He said that like 3 times, hasn't done anything. He says, Putin, if you don't stop bombing Ukraine, I'm gonna get really upset. Doesn't do anything. He's yet to show any retaliation against Putin. And right
You
now,
think
he should.
so?
Yeah, what
You
has he
think so?
done? What has he done against Putin to show that
Look,
he would be in a position for
look.
opposition?
Does he have him at the table or does he not?
I mean, he
He
does,
has
but
Putin at the
wait.
table.
But what concession? Putin's always been ready for the table, right? If they did give up the
No,
four Oblast,
no, that's not true. That's not,
that's wait. No, yes,
that's
that
not
is
true.
true. Putin
No,
has
it's
literally
not.
said. Putin has says they want the four Oblasts. They want Zaporizhia, Kherson, Donetsk, and Luhansk. They said they want those regions, and they want Ukraine not to join the.
Okay, but they're into. First of all, we don't know exactly what the talks are because they're still in the middle of the talks, so they can't reveal everything. Otherwise, um, both parties, if you leak what their potential concessions are going to be in order to reach a peace deal and stop the war, okay, you can't leak all this information. But there are talks going on, and from what everybody is saying, both sides are going to be conceding things, probably land grabs on the Russian side, and land giveaways on the Ukrainian side. A lot of it's going to have to do with that, but something's going to happen. I believe something's going to happen. Do you believe something's going to happen or no? You believe that he's
Um.
going to end it?
Probably it would. I would
Okay,
imagine.
so why aren't you on the train? Isn't that a
Be,
good thing?
I not really. I believe.
It's not
Given
a good thing.
No, so I mean, I believe
Why?
we're yeah, okay, so there's multiple reasons why. So, the ending of this war, that's kind of a notice for the world stage to increase in nuclear proliferation. It seems like Ukraine will have to end the war soon because Trump is not seeming to be the strongest ally of Ukraine, and they were almost funding for like 40% of Ukraine before Trump got in presidency. It also shows that Russia could go ahead and annex any state that they think there is theirs, and there wouldn't be any serious pushback from the American front.
All right.
Um, so things.
I think you're wrong. I think Trump is Ukraine's strongest ally because he's the one that can get something done. Okay, these other people, okay, Macron, and all these other countries, they can't do anything. It's going to be Trump. Okay, the reason why Trump was so upset the last time Zelensky came to the White House is because when you're trying to mediate a peace arrangement between two opposing forces, okay, when you bring one leader to the table who starts running his mouth off at the other, that's no way to behave to start off a peace agreement. In my opinion, he was right to react the way he did. And guess what? Now, like a little child with the tail between his legs, comes back to the big dog, the one who can actually make something happen, and he starts behaving.
Okay,
That,
well,
that's how it has to be. He ran away. He ran away and he went to those wussies in Europe okay, who couldn't do shit for him, and that's why they're still at war. And so in the meantime, he didn't behave the way he was supposed to, and who knows, maybe 100,000 more people died in the interim because he ran his mouth off and he didn't behave. But I'll tell you what, you've been a great guest. I'm always welcome for opposition. I thank you so much for coming up. We just have more people in the panel
Okay.
that I want to get to.
All good.
I'll give you 10 or 15 seconds. I'll give you the closing word, man.
Yeah, just well, Ukraine could always end the war whenever they want by easily conceding. So to act like he's coming to Trump to help him out, even though in the beginning Trump wanted them to endlessly concede land and all the minerals, doesn't seem like a very strong position from Trump. But yeah, you have a good day, man.
All right, you too, man. Have a good one. So thank you, Greg. Let's see. All right.